Conditional Probability. In this module, you will learn about the conditional probability. Consider an experiment of rolling 2 dice. All possible outcomes of the sample space are 36. Further, consider an event A of getting 7 in a similar experiment of rolling 2 dice. There are 6 outcomes favorable to the event of getting 7. The probability of getting 7 will be the number of outcomes favorable to the event upon number of all possible outcomes, that is, 1 upon 6. Now, consider an event B of getting at least 1 3 in the same experiment. The probability of B is the number of outcomes favorable to the event B upon number of all possible outcomes, that is, 11 upon 36. What if you are required to find the probability of getting 7 when 3 has already occurred on at least one of the dice, or you can say probability of getting event A under the assumption that B has already taken place? Then, the set of all possible outcomes of the sample space reduces to 11 from 36. Now, out of these outcomes, there are only 2 that are favorable to event A. Thus, the probability of A when B has already occurred is 2 upon 11. This is the symbol for probability of A when B has already occurred. If we represent the situation using Venn diagram, the sample space of an experiment of rolling 2 dice becomes a universal set. The set A represents the event of getting 7 and set B represents the event of getting at least 1 3. Now, the sample space for the event of getting 7 when 3 has already occurred is set B, and the outcomes favorable to event of getting A when B has already occurred are represented by A intersection B. Thus, the probability of A when B has already occurred can be expressed as the probability of A intersection B upon probability of B. Such probability of an event that occurs when another event has already occurred is known as the conditional probability. The previous discussion helps us to generalize that if A and B are the 2 events associated with a sample space of a random experiment, the conditional probability of the event A, given that B has occurred, is probability of A intersection B upon probability of B, provided probability of B is not equal to 0. In this module you have learnt that if A and B are two events associated with a sample space of a random experiment, the conditional probability of the event A, given that B has occurred, is probability of A intersection B upon probability of B, provided probability of B is not equal to 0.